YouTube, what's good? It's your boy, Paulus Harris, aka Environmental Terrorist, aka the Wise One. Comment what you will. Hey, listen, this your first time watching any of my videos, right? Make sure you hit the like, hit the subscribe, tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell Big Dan, tell Big Bertha, tell the motherfucker next door, tell the motherfucker across the street, tell your uncle, shit, tell everybody that I'm the real deal, right? I'm the real deal when it comes to anything. I don't give a fuck what it is. So, that being said, this movie, Us, go see it. Pretty good movie, but just know this, people. 30 minutes into that movie. If not, maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little bit shorter than 30 minutes. I already knew what the fuck was going on with this movie, right? Everybody, I saw all of the videos on what everybody else had to say about this movie. So, old Paulus Harris, right? I'm gonna give y'all the real deal. This is the true meaning behind that movie, Us. And then, like I said, if y'all, you can do one of three things. You can either agree with what I'm about to tell y'all. Y'all can disagree for what I'm about to tell y'all, right? Or you can give your own little explanation, which may fall into you actually really disagreeing from what I'm about to say here. So, with that being said, everybody, looking at this movie, and I'm just like, okay, I could have told everybody in the movie theater what the fuck was gonna happen, but I didn't want to piss nobody off, and I really didn't. I couldn't have beat everybody's ass in there, so I just kept it to myself. So, but another case, everybody was talking about Jeremiah 11:11. Listen, Jeremiah 11:11 was nothing more than a distraction, if you actually really want to put it like that, or if you actually really sat down and thought about it for a minute, it might have could have led you to other stuff. So, like I said, I'm not even gonna get into that, but what really got it for me, right? Well, that was the start of it, and so then I'm just like, okay, I see where they're going with this. So, but then, time progressed, blah 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 blah, and all that kind of stuff. And she at the beach or whatever, at the little amusement park, and then she had that candy apple, which right there, that was another. Don't nobody see. That's another thing. Don't nobody else talk about this, but I'm finna talk about it. She had that candy apple. Since they're gonna sit up here and talk about, y'all want to talk about the Bible, so we gonna talk about the Bible. Damn it, we gonna talk about the Bible, right? So, her being a female, she got the apple or the candy apple, right? So again, we already know the story behind that. Eve tempted Adam with the apple, but again, we could say that, but again, I'm just sitting up here letting y'all know this is something else that really messed out. But the thing about it though, the one verse or the one chapter that they should have been talking about, but they didn't. But then again, Jordan Peele, he probably he either wanted to say it and he couldn't, because even when you in the industry, there's rules and shit that y'all gotta follow, right? And they probably say, well, they probably still wouldn't have got it. Just like y'all still don't get it, and y'all went to go watch the shit. So Matthew 6, 9 verses 9, 6, 9 through 13. Now, if y'all don't know what that is the so-called Lord's Prayer, right? And verse 10 says, "Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven." All right. Now, with all this stuff, talking about the tethered this and that and the third, and shadows and all that kind of stuff. So, this can be proven that look at what the Egyptians did, right? They looked up in the night sky and they looked at the constellation of Orion, right? And they looked at the configuration of that constellation and what the hell did they do on the ground, right? The three pyramids that actually really make up Orion's belt is the three most famous pyramids over there in Egypt right today. So they saw what they had in the night sky, and then the only thing about it, a lot of you motherfuckers, y'all sit up here talking about heaven, this, that, the third, and every time somebody talk about heaven, y'all always looking up like this, like heaven is up there somewhere, knowing damn well it ain't, right? But for the purposes of this movie, right, we just gonna say heaven is up there, you know. So again, so the Egyptians, they saw what was in the night sky, and they copied it here on the ground. Now, another example, and y'all really gonna have to go back on this one. You really gonna have to like really go back and find a real good map. The two constellations, Big Dipper and Little Dipper, right? Now, again, if you actually really go and you get a map, a real good map, and you look at the space between the United States and the Soviet Union, there are two islands right there that are shaped just like the Big Dipper and Little Dipper. So basically what I'm saying, people, is this. The Lord's Prayer, or the so-called Lord's Prayer, Matthew 6, 9 through 13, right? Pay close attention to verse 10. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. We are nothing but types and shadows of how it actually is, right? When our Heavenly Father actually really take on shape and form, he looked like us. He got a head, he got a body, he got hands and feet, the whole nine. The only difference between our bodies and the Heavenly Father, right? That's super incorporeal. It don't get no better than that, right? So we're nothing but carbon copies, shadows, if you will. And then just to actually go back to the little girl when she went in there and that with the building says find yourself, and you in there with a whole bunch of mirrors, right? So when you look at a mirror, it's gonna cast a reflection. We all know this. But when you got a whole bunch of mirrors, you got a reflection upon a reflection, right? So I just told you, we're nothing more than types and shadows of what it actually is, right? So we are shadows. So when we go outside, when the sun is out, right? Don't we cast shadows? And then there was another part in there where the woman was saying, like, okay, well, you can copy the body, but you can't copy the soul or whatever. So again, right? You carry your ass outside, right? And the sun hits you, right? You cast a shadow. The shadow look like you, but the shadow is only gonna copy what you do because it don't have no soul about itself. It can't think for itself. None of that stuff right there. So basically, this is all what the hell that this movie was talking about. Jordan Peele ain't gonna tell you that. Jordan Peele is gonna give you that old bullshit runaround like the rest of these motherfuckers in the industry do. Now, the whole Hands Across America did. Now depending on who you talk to right here in the United States or who you talk to across that water, a lot of people don't like this country. They'll sit up here and say, well, depending on who you talk to, they're like, okay, who are we to actually really tell them what the fuck they doing when the shit that we doing here in our own backyard is just as bad or if not worse. than what they're actually really doing over there and in other countries, for the most part. So with this whole Hands Across America piece, that was back in 1986, right? I was in Arkansas at the time. I was like around about 13 years old, and they wanted me to be the people that was there. They was on the main stretch of road there in Little Rock, and they was like, well, come on, be a part of this. This is part of history. I was on my bicycle at the time. Me and some other friends, we was on our bicycle, and they were trying to get us to be involved in it. And I told them, no, I'm not going to do that, right? I mean, because even then, even at 13, I was like self-aware about a whole lot of stuff, that was actually really going on out there. So with that, and then with the so-called shadows or the evil twins of themselves, right? They in there or they out there and they wearing red, right? So again, going back to the Bible or whatever, they always, well, I'm not gonna say that the Bible never did this, because the Bible actually never called Lucifer or Satan, never said that he was red and had horns and all that kind of stuff, right? But that's just another depiction of how some people can actually really take a story and they actually really feel like, okay, well, he got cast down in the hell, and then y'all actually really thinking that hell is an actual hot place. No, the fuck it ain't. I mean, yeah, if you go down far enough and the Earth's surface, you're gonna run into some magma and all that kind of stuff. So no doubt about it, it is indeed hot down there, right? But just because it's hot, right, don't mean it's don't turn your ass red and anything like that. So again, it's how motherfuckers depict things, right? And then they put it in the goddamn story. So with the people walk around there in their little red suits or whatever, and they got the gloves on or whatever, and then they got the scissors. So basically, all what the fuck that is, that ain't nothing more than so-called Lucifer and his pitchfork. That's all that is, people. I mean, now, great the fact, a pitchfork, right? It has like three, it has like the three prongs or whatever. But it's just for some fact, hey, look, you get the idea what I'm going with, right? And just the pitchfork, just like the scissors, right? You really can't do anything with it until somebody actually really picks it up and do whatever it is that they got to do, right? So that explains why they was wearing red, why they had the scissors, right? Now, people gonna sit up here and talk about, well, what was up with the rabbits? Okay, what the fuck was up with the rabbits? Again, you gotta look at that like as a math equation almost, where that you get a problem, right? And then they'll actually really throw some shit in there just to see how smart you really are. So the rabbits, you can actually really look at it, okay, that's just an extra, or you can actually really look at that shit and again, Jordan Peele, just like everybody else, want to sit up here. He might have been watching too much, might have watched The Matrix one time too many, right? And I want to say, if it was the red pill, I forget what Morpheus. If you take the red pill, I'll show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. So again, right? So you take the red pill, you go down the rabbit hole, people in their red suits with the scissors and shit, Satan in his pitchfork, right? We're a shadow or a copy of the original thing, right? And when we go outside, we cast a shadow. You go in the mirror house or define yourself mirror house, reflection on reflection on reflection, shadow upon shadow upon shadow. All right? That's all what the fuck this is. Now, last piece of business, everybody's talking about the ending, right? Well, what's up with the ending? How come this? Or how come the little boy put on his mask? You know, because they were talking about, well, you know, talking about like well, the real one and the fake one and all this kind of stuff. Well, the thing about it though is this, people. Again, we can take this back. We can actually really take this back to Matthew 6, 9, and 13, or 9 through 13, paying attention to verse 10, or if that don't get you, hell, you can go over there, Revelations 12th chapter, verses 7 through 17, right? Where it actually said it was a war in heaven. You had Michael and his angels, or Lucifer and his angels, fighting against Yahweh and his angels. So, but the thing about it, you got to ask yourself, okay, well, why was it a war in the first damn place? Well, for the most part, you got to look at it like this. Lucifer, for the most part, he was the most beautiful angel up there. And that shit went to his head. And then he actually like really started talking like, well, hey, y'all should be listening to me. You know, y'all should be listening to me. Look at me. I sound just like him, right? I sound just like the Most High, or I will be like the Most High, right? So when she come in there and she couldn't talk, I mean, yeah, she could talk, but for the most part, those of us that actually really know what the fuck is going on, you gonna sound just like that motherfucker on that goddamn movie, right? You know, so basically that's all that was. So whether or not she actually like really killed off her real self or her fake self, when the boy put the mask back on, right? Basically all what that was is just saying, okay, yeah, you might have got me, right? But I'm still here. I'm still around. Just because you didn't kill off everybody or you think that everything is safe, it really ain't safe. So all of this stuff talking about fake this, fake that, fake the other. No. I mean, because if that was the goddamn case, then everybody should have died. The people that was in red and, you know, everybody. That movie should have went off, everybody died. Right? Because, it's just like what I said, we are types and shadows of how it actually is. Right? And then when we carry our ass outside, when the sun is up, we cast a shadow. Or matter of fact, the sun ain't even gotta be up. Shit, if it's a clear night and the moon is out, shit, your body will cast a shadow from the moonlight or from the goddamn street light, you know. But then again, you gotta ask yourself this question: where does the moon get its light from? So a shadow is a shadow. Don't let's not get it twisted, people. A shadow is a motherfucking shadow. All right. So all of that bullshit what everybody was talking about, okay, I give you effort. I'm like you tried, but it's almost like, okay, your ass is drunk. You had this shit, right? Instead of you shitting in the actual bowl, you shit on the goddamn seat. And you thought you was good. No, motherfucker. Carry your ass back in the bathroom and go clean that goddamn shit off of the seat. That's all what that is, people. So that's all I gotta say about that. Pretty much cleared. Pretty much got everything. Just like I said, you know, you gotta know what the fuck to look for. And just like I said, they was looking, but they were looking in the wrong spot, people. Just like what a lot of these motherfuckers do on YouTube, right? So, with that being said, this is Apollos Harris with another show. 5 Minute Terrorist, Wise One. Hey, make sure you like and subscribe. If you watch this show, leave a comment, like really, leave a comment, right? So I can actually really think what y'all thinking out there. Even though I already know what a whole lot of y'all gonna say, but prove me wrong. Like just one time, which that's like very hard to do. So with that.